some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh.
You dare overstep your mortal authority?
Lay to bear. Go on. Go on.
Delve into destiny, decided by destiny. Leave my space. Shadows of fate.
Lightning flash! Wrath from the sky!
There is no atonement for 1,000-year pain!
Incinerate! Try and stop me! Transfixed!
Today, you witness your reckoning!
Witness my rise. Commendable. Laid bare. The hearth is now extinguished.
Take this!
Face me!
This shall not be my fate. Incinerate! Rev the engines!
Face me!
Let me scry.
Shifting sands know not the mountain's permanence.
Yeah. Fate is upon you.
Pyroclastic surge! Try and stop me! The flame burns on.
Maybe I wasn't meant for this world.
From our homeland, or a fool who trespasses upon the waters of Chainsa. Coveting the shapes of the living, pure water can take on many forms. In this way, shall water deliver your punishment. power of water is its ability to take any shape.
Light it up!
Without solid ground, terrestrial creatures become simply helpless. The power of water is its ability to take any shape.
Transfixed!
One who is ignorant of water's treasures fails also to comprehend its horrors. Let's see what happens when you lose your foothold. The power of water is its ability to take any shape.
Overruled!
We seek but a small haven of tranquil waters. Is that so much to ask for? As long as... and rivers flow, water will exist forever. An assassin from our homeland, or a fool who trespasses upon the waters of Chainsa. Coveting the shapes of the living, pure water can take on many forms. In this way, shall water deliver your punishment. The power of water is its ability to take any shape. Without solid ground, terrestrial creatures become simply helpless. The power of water is its ability to take any shape. One who is ignorant of water's treasures fails also to comprehend its horrors. Let's see what happens when you lose your foothold. The power of water is its ability to take any shape. As long as rain falls and rivers flow, water will exist forever.
Lightning Flash! Bellowing Thunder!
Overruled. What greater pleasure is there than the unexpected? What greater pleasure is there than the unexpected? Full throttle!
Hip.
Hey, not a bad haul.
Yeah.
What greater pleasure is there than the unexpected? Laid bare. Try and stop me! Ah, something with which to commemorate this occasion. Rev the engines!
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home. We're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle. And you said before that you still had some...
About that. You still remember...
Yes, the case was quite...
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain... At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned it...
Yes, he did. If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as... And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety, while lacking energy to do... As he oversaw
Bosses uncompromised. Not only that...
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers. Recognizing that, the man's name was Jacques. That night, my father hosted it, but then...
Huh? How did...
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at... Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene. Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, It's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired. You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring—
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with 0 warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full truth. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, I must still offer a word of warning. Our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that, ever. Not since that day, and certainly not now. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite—
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. But what drove—
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left to live. And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. But once he passed away, all the danger would pass on to you. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key incriminating evidence for the other side, and even told some members of Spina de Rosula about the details. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victims.
Right, so nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the Unfaithful were still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol, but a sword. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life without a kid. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters, the worst case would be that we...
Then, in that case, what?
Well, you saw...
But things...
You sound like you've put a lot of thought in...
I am the butt. I've always been willing to take on any kind of...
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me when I announced if the vendor... After several... The first?
Flo...
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost there's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrier.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business connections in the city.
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can... It's a bit difficult.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula. Although the guards, since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan one step ahead.
I see. To think that...
If you want to...
Of course.
You're too... And before I forget, proving after that, if it might help...
Aw, thank you.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work...
another test subject.
Light it up!
I got careless. Picked the wrong test subject. Suffocate!
Burn it down!
I got careless. The hunter becomes the hunted. Picked the wrong test subject.
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time.
Ah, if it's about that.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the...
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you. Because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to all of us.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally,
For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, regardless of whether he left you a...
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
I'll leave my husband.
Thank you.
I'll leave my husband's case to you.
Thank you, Miss Spina, and Miss Spina's friend. okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his... Can you do me a favor and try to recall...
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So after that, he told us that he wanted... My first reaction was that But when I got there...
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The reason being... But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a 3rd person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a 3rd person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malouse told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callis's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callis the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still, but it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life no matter what others might say. He'll always...
Don't worry. I will you and all our other comrades at the Spina... Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia?
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that?
I mean, Callus did a it would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's...
That'd be much appreciated.
Of course. Why do you ask?
Well, you see, so... if you...
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. If you try to removing a... So I can promise... They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni.
I have to keep an eye on the deployment of guards at all times.
I'll see what I can do for you in Spina di Rosula when it comes to guard stuff, but don't go advertising it to everyone else.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? Sure. I will let him know right away.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly.
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even—
Oh, you're giving us too much credit.
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will— But rest assured, if anyone dares to lay the—
Thank you, Uncle Mars. Do you have any new
About that. The confrérie was— Then I heard the sound of a gun.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself.
Sounds good. Just all my wealth comes from—
This could work. I'll just treat them as new samples.
Alas, why do these kinds of things happen to the kindest people? Alas.
Being skilled at something doesn't make it a hobby.
We've talked to all three suspects.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected anyway.
But where should we start? You've brought—
According to Jacques—
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective? Makes sense. But without beside Jacques, it's obvious that—
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, but who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security. So he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to... Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the guard, but... I didn't...
Yeah, if the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find...
Uncle Marcel, and with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large Still really hard for... Also, what... Who could it be? You know, if...
Could we be missing...
The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, we need far...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something...
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know...
Well, he's been accused of being...
Wait, how? None of our...
That's what I thought. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder then to clear...
I understand. Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, you're right. This is our... I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be...
We'll help you!
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going.
हेलो भाई पिकाचू प्लेस, क्या हालचाल तुम्हारे? कैसे हो ब्रो? मैं यहाँ क्या कर रहा हूँ? नीचे
According to Malusa's info, the synth production base is underwater.
Yes.
Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Take this! Lightning flash!
Decided by destiny.
ओके उसको यहाँ भेजूंगा फिर उसको वहाँ भेजूंगा। ओके तू यहाँ से जा, तू वहाँ से जा। पता भेजूंगा जा। पहुंच भी गई, तू कब जाएगी? पता ना भगवान जाने क्या करना।
Finding treasure is pretty exhilarating.
तेरा क्या सीन है? क्या बड़ा रखता है इन लोगों का? तो कहाँ लेके जा रहा है? चलना मेरे साथ।
Delved into destiny.
भगवान जाने कैसे करना है। ले भाई वो तो पीछे चला जाता है। कोई देख
Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all. Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have it. Navia's probably...
एक सेकंड रुक जाइए, एक सेकंड रुक जाना। जिन्हें बात कर ले फिर नेक देखो। यार अभी तुम
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tot. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even... However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist KiAND, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fight.
Oh, sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness.
Okay.
But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is...
कौन? हैं? मुझे दे दिया. दे दे.
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court.
Okay.
Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that... Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your...
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father?
Yes.
Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and...
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. The suspect did not dispute Callus was defeated by champion duelist KiAND in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason. In truth, the third person after that... Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us. However, we...
ये भी नहीं है ठीक है भाई ये भी नहीं है क्यों कर रही है
The testimony of the victim. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and unfortunately.
ये भी नहीं है
This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
वाला दिखाओ क्या बोलना है
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself, but now it is clear that the cloaks... Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder.
मेरे हक में झुक गया फैसला पूरा
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine 2 things. 1.
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home.
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassment.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the lab.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person...
I've thought about this too. And the answer is actually pretty simple. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case.
My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic...
Boss once told me.
What? If the secret had gone... Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of... But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this up, but by staying silent, I was able to... And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, so... That's right. Do you have Of course, all you need... I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, KiAND, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, as a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions.
I concur. However, Miss Navia...
Right? What she said was fact.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases, in my father's case, the culprit and, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being The culprit could only time their actions so precisely, coincidentally.
So that's why I'm used to it.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your point. On top of that, does a person have to be physically...
Know what she can say to that.
I know that alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a... But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
Okay.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
वाश
I was waiting for you to say that.
ओके अबे मैंने बंद क्यों कर दिया ये? एक सेकंड रुक जाना भाई, मैं कुछ चेक कर रहा था यार, वो प्रॉब्लम आ गई। एक सेकंड रुक जा। अबे कहाँ गया? आया मैं, एक सेकंड आया। एक अभी भी नहीं आया, अभी भी गलत जगह। चल भाई ये तो कोई नहीं थी टीसी क्या कर रहा पार्टी तो यही है ना का पर्सन ही है पार्टी तो जी रही भाई
Take this! Light it up!
दोनों के दोनों भाई
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
किसकी पूजा चल रही है
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way.
बाहर जाके वो तो मजा
Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way
काम
up.
कर रहा हूँ बाहर जाओ अपना बाहर खेलो पानी के अंदर जाना पड़ेगा क्या और पानी के अंदर वाला सिस्टम चलो देखते हैं क्या सीन है और कुछ नहीं है ना को बड़े बड़े हाथ पड़ेगा क्या होगा काफी सीक्रेट रूम बनाया है भाई लौंडे ने पानी के अंदर भी मोटर कर रही है पानी बढ़ रहा है भाई बढ़ रहा है पूरा बढ़ रहा है काफी जोर का सेटअप है भाई
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
पंगे मत ले पंगे कर दिए जाओ टैलेंट 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 बढ़ा दो इसका टैलेंट तो है भी है हो जाएगा भैया हैवी हुआ थोड़ा बहुत 3 बुरा भाई वो ये नहीं मार तो काट रहा है मच्छर वो लगा दिया ऑल आउट खा रहा खाना बड़ा है नहीं स्लो कर स्लो अगर तो खा जा फिर उसको खा जो खाना है खाने दो तुम अपना देखो है ना कुछ भी खाया सामने वाला मच्छर का आता है यहाँ बॉडी फिरते रहे तो का भाई कितना पानी चाहिए भैया इस जगह को ले भाई नई जगह खोली यहाँ तो ऐसे पिलती है हमारी पायमान खुद तो कुछ कर नहीं रही है चल रहा है भाई वो और वो इसी पे घूम रहा है भाई ऐसे गाड़ी रंग से सही करा ले खराब पड़ गई कोई डिब्बा है इधर कौन है ओके वो ये कहाँ तो पकड़ा है उधर जा बाहर
Burn it down! Lay it bare! Light up the blazing sun! Incinerate!
पेड़ा है क्या खून चलती है भाई ओके नई जगह एक्सप्लोर कर तो हूँ मैप दिखा सकता है क्या अरे मैं हूँ किधर ताऊ तो दिखाई नहीं रहा मैप में डेबिट डेबिट पे आओ अच्छा मैं इधर ही हूँ ओके मुझे लगा मैं उधर हूँ पर मैं इधर हूँ
So as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the opera house. What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different... Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? And then they were... And all the boxes of things. These names. Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective... Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him. Yep. It's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the exact content of the key information the old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. I concur. Let's send someone to kill... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. They're all...
चल ठीक है, देखते हैं, ढूंढते हैं. मैं तो सबूत चाहिए ना, सबूत मिल रहा है. ये क्या है नीला नीला?
Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the synth. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth. But the pure stuff can dissolve a human.
ये कुछ और है भाई.
Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
ये तो कुछ अलग चीज है. सी वाटर पूल. सी वाटर पूल क्या होता है भाई? यहाँ खड़े होकर देख.
Whoa! There's so much synth here, and so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's super obvious.
Okay. अच्छा ये दे रहा है, मैं तो कुछ और दे रहा है. इधर तो सारे कर दिए ना क्लियर. उधर का ही रह गया. बस मेन आइटम रह गया ये. और अभी भी चल रहा है भाई.
Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea. And the experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Females... Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before. How can someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all of these experiments. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over?
Yes.
That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
You
mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would... In any case, Paimon will write it all down. We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. But... Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either.
ज्ञान होती थी पाइमन काम कुछ करती एक टाइम पे एक चीज थी। वो 9 बज गए यार, दिन चल रहा मिशन करते करते। अब कहाँ जाना है? हो गया ना काम यहाँ पे, पता ही नहीं चल रहा हो गया क्या नहीं हो गया। मतलब यहाँ से निकलूँ ना तो फिर रुकना है यहाँ पे। फिर से करूँ? फिर से क्यों करना है? मुझे क्या नौटंकी है भाई?
You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully.
After some time.
Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name?
अरे भाई मर गया।
Then you found her diary. Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet, too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her.
ये क्या भाई?
So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son?
Yes.
Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence. It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
Okay. Okay. ये भी नहीं। ये इनवैलिड। ये भी नहीं। ये भी नहीं। ये भी नहीं। अब तो ये बचा है बस। ये भी नहीं। वो क्या खिताब? ओके। अब तो ये बचा है बस। ये भी नहीं। वे तेरा बताओ सिलेक्टर।
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Always.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair. We know everything. After your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong?
You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vignier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved. No matter what I do.
Is that water from the primordial sea, Justin?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go! I can't follow! So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignier. A promise. We made a promise. Vignier. Vignier! Please, Vignier, don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher.
ले भाई, यहाँ पे तो कोर्ट में हेयरिंग चलती है बैंकर वाली.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves! Huh? Are you okay? He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves. Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to, so if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. Okay. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
What the fuck, man? ये चल क्या रहा है यहाँ?
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
और पावर देगा
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
चोट लग गई भाई इसके गाल पे
Hey, Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Okay. मैं तो समझ में नहीं आया यार आया गेम ओवर कर दिया फाइल का यस ब्रो अब मेरे को लग रहा है इसके खिलाफ मुझे इसके मतलब इसको बचाना पड़ेगा पता नहीं क्यों मुझे जाने क्यों लग रहा है ये चाइल्ड ही है जो मुझे सिर्फ आगे जाके बचाएगा पता नहीं क्यों ये मेरा बहुत हेल्प करेगा इफ even the Chief Justice doesn't know they have no choice but is to ask
why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it.
तू बड़ी फट जाती
है I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
ले भाई तेरे खिलाफ हो गया सब ध्यान रखियो अपना
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock, and of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded. If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, all shall be revealed in time. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a...
All right. Even though we feel pretty
हमें करना पड़ेगा इसका भी अब केस सॉल्व है भाई बेटा हाँ थोड़ा सा बड़ा है मैं तो फिर बता देते
Oh, Monsieur Neuvillette! That power you showed when you took him down. Who are you really?
I'm the Chief Justice of Fontaine, of course. If officers of the law lack the strength and capability to enforce it, then it makes a mockery of justice.
इसका क्या कहना है, इसके बारे में बताओ। वो वहाँ बैठती है, वो वहाँ बैठती है, वो बताओ इतनी ऊपर दिखती भी नहीं है। रुक जाइए हो ना, देखन जी कहाँ पे बैठते है महारानी? साले बिल्कुल ऊपर टॉप पे, देखियो बिल्कुल टॉप पे बैठती है महारानी। फोटो भी तो खींची हमने यार। ओहो ये रहता हूँ।
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
आएगा मानने मुझे।
Traveler! Hey, traveler!
Yes, बोल।
Marcel, what are you doing over here?
बोल, क्या कहना चाहता है?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Go on, बता। बोल।
Thank you.
बोल जो भी कहना है बोल।
I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Yes, I made
her. Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it?
It was around the fountain. Something with the...
The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs? Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief.
Thank you.
चलो भैया, अब जो जाएगा उससे मिल, चलो ऐसे मिला के आए। जस्टिस वाला यहाँ पे तो परफॉर्म एक ऊपर तो ऊपर तो रास्ते ही नहीं दिया जो कहीं और से आती है आने का तरीका नहीं है। ओके इसके बाहर से ये भी खोल देना चाहिए जब वो खोल सकते हो। आना आना
This is where you fall.
आओ दो मिनट
What could the children be up to? Never mind. Let them do as they please.
आया भाई, चलो भैया मिशन में पडोला मत लड़की है छुटकू यही है भाई.
Is this the place?
Yes.
You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well?
Vache.
Ah!
Yes, that's it. So you heard it too.
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache?
Vache.
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, wait!
क्या हो गया?
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember.
It's been more than 20 years.
20
I've
years?
suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are
you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks.
Oh.
It's all because of your selfishness, Vache.
Wow.
It's all because of you.
You... Wait, you are not Vinier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vinier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea.
And
we were no longer individuals. But we became one. Just as streams of water come together. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vinier.
Why? But then, where is Vinier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore.
Even.
Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vinier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vinier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
ब्लू है वो.
No! Yeah! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please. Have mercy.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her fight. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
कितनी लड़कियां मारती हैं इसमें?
Vache. Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
कितनी मारियां ने? टिकट करा रहा है ये तो पक्का भाई. प्रॉपर. अरे ले भैया ने 10 से ज़्यादा मार दिया. 7 days later. सुना मैं सिर ने देखा. hey! मैं सिर देख के देख कुछ दिख रहा है सिर में. यहाँ देखिए यहाँ पे देखिए कुछ है. देख सकता है तू?
Finally, we have some time to do shopping.
Sorry, time by.
It's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
My legs are killing.
Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a...
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia!
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always... It's just been one thing. Everyone from Spinati wrote this time.
So his name's definitely been cleared now.
It's been the...
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too?
Yeah, way back when I believe the story was, to be fair though, it was a really flattering feature. She was trying to leave.
Oh yeah, she told.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean...
Oh, that's great! Paimon also thought Clarand wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more...
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved... Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him. That includes me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too! We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop.
चल भाई माँ लेके जाना चल तू लेके चल तू जहाँ लेके जाएगी माँ लेके चलूँगा चल बस
This is where my father's grave is.
Huh?
मैंने जो
There's
grave
someone
है
there
देखा था वही
already.
है
Wait, that figure. It can't be. Isn't that Nervalette?
Nervalette.
Why would the Chief Justice be here?
ओहो
Huh?
पूछो भाई पहले से बात कर ले
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case,
Slide
I
बंद
will
कर देना.
stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case,
कैसा होता है?
why did you come to Poisson?
आता है? कल लेके आना.
Well,
तंदूर का
ever
लाओ.
since
कल
that
लेके
day,
आना है.
I've been turning a
तंदूर की ज़्यादा
question
बेटर.
over and over in my
कौन
head.
सा चंदन वाला?
Just what is justice anyway?
चंदन का कोई और है?
There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to human. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most which is also why I didn't stop your father
Which
from
is
beginning
the
that
almost
fateful
why I
duel.
am did not.
I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callis proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callis made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epicles indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your...
I'm sorry for being. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the.
Sorry about that.
Didn't I just.
Ah, so Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their peaces. Let's not disturb. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude there? Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she. Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad. Anyway, Neuvillette is still standing around.
That's it.
Paimon's really sorry, Navia, but Paimon did something pretty disrespectful just now.
What are you saying, Paimon? I don't think I get it.
Well, aren't you not supposed to fly around someone's grave?
Huh? Who told you that?
Hey, traveler! Why did you mess with Paimon again?
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see, I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
So...
Truthfully, that name... There used to be a special sea. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special... But today, what Vache discovered must have been some... Indeed. Why would the... To be frank, is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
और का मेरे
To be frank, is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
और का तो पढ़ ही रहो तो बोलते Okay, bhai.
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you'll like what you see.
सिर्फ पीछे लगा मैं मेरे यहाँ नहीं टोटवार अब किधर जाना है वे अंदर जाना है और भी खुलेंगे ना कितने तक है ये ओके 50 तक आगे बढ़ते हैं
Scry the sky.
का बहुत होते हैं
We could do with some more fortune.
वो भी नहीं होता अरे वो होती है खाली में जो मतलब
Ignorant and vulgar.
Please remain seated.
मेरे पीछे पड़ गया वही दो सौ के देखेंगे
Light it up!
Overruled.
Did I scare you? A gift for I can still try.
Ah, something with which to commemorate this occasion.
Fate is upon you!
Burn it down!
Ah, something with which to commemorate this occasion.
Rise with the sun!
Another The hunter becomes the hunted.
Ah, something with which to commemorate this occasion.
Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending. Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending.
the sky. Let me strike. Decided by destiny.
Put your back into it!
Laid bare.
Time to fulfill my duty. It's time
You can't run!
Witness my rise. Overruled.
I miscalculated.
You're going.
Here!
Happy to apply.
Sound lightning flash! Thunderclap! A fellow gambler.
New punching bag.
No more tricks up your sleeve.
on you! Shadows of fate!
Wow, these will come in handy.
An assassin from our homeland, or a fool who trespasses upon the waters of Chingsa. Coveting the shapes of the living, pure water can take on many forms. In this way, shall water deliver your punishment. The power of water is its ability to take any shape. Without solid ground, terrestrial creatures become simply helpless. The power of water is its ability to take any shape. One who is ignorant of water's treasures fails also to comprehend its horrors. Let's see what happens when you lose your foothold. water is its ability to take any shape. We seek but a small haven of tranquil waters. Is that so much to ask for? As long as rain falls and rivers flow, water will exist forever.
हो यार, पता भी नहीं चला टाइम. Time is so fast. चलो टाइम तो हो ही गया निकल. कल आते हैं यहाँ पे, विदा लेते हैं, कल देखते हैं काम कर. बाय बाय. एक्ट हमने 3 कर दिया, कल हमें एक्ट चैप्टर 4 का एक्ट 3 कंप्लीट करेंगे. बाय बाय.